All right. Hi, everyone. It's nice to see so many of you here. As you very nicely pronounced, my name is Max Sjöblom. I'm a researcher at Tampere University. I didn't get a clicker.
Should be on the, it's on the,
Oh, all right. Oh.
the green button.
Thank you. Yes. All right. So I work with a great new thing called the eSports Research Project. We just, this last spring, got a 2-year funding by Tekas and a bunch of really nice, great Finnish companies, including Yle, Supercell, Veikkaus, and Alma Media. So we have a lot of gaming and media giants backing us up, as well as some other organizations. And we're focusing on 3 main things. First is eSports, which is super exciting. Also video game streaming, so Twitch and the like. And the final one is eSports gambling, which has been really hot topic lately. A lot of controversy and problems going on there. So I like to think of our team as focusing on the why instead of the what or the how. So I know there's a lot of data available for companies because they track so much of what users are doing. But were you thinking that, maybe we should instead go to the users themselves and try to figure out what's going on in their heads? Why are they doing what they're doing, and not just what are they doing? So we do a lot of surveys and this kind of research. And today I'm going to talk about 2 surveys we've done, one on streaming and one on esports. So we approach streaming because it's a new phenomenon, it's really big. As you can see here, there's data from 4 years back. Here we see how many people are using Twitch each month. So that's unique visitors in millions per month. So you see like a huge upwards trend in the usage. And it's good to remember it's not just Twitch. There's a lot of different services going on out there. There's unique ones in Asia especially. And while I don't have the data for the last 2 years, I believe the trend is still upwards, perhaps not doubling, but still quite large. So just out of interest, how many of you watch gaming streams from time to time? Quite many, quite many. So you know kind of what's going on. And for those who don't, streaming is basically you're watching someone else play a video game, and they're usually showing some content from the game, and they might have webcam to show their emotions when they screw up and die horribly, so you can laugh at them. All right, so how we approached this was we did a survey. We got about a bit over 1,000 respondents, quite varied, nicely different countries, different demographics. And we took this kind of media research approach. We chose 5 main motivations that people have for consuming media. And then we looked at how these then correlate with, say, how many hours you watch Twitch, if you're a subscriber, how many streams you watch, and so on. So I don't have that much time today, but I'll try to cover some results that we have from the survey. So first off, escape, which means kind of distraction from your everyday problems, was very important, actually the most important factor here. So that means that people who are looking to escape from reality, get this distraction, they watch more streams, more hours per week than other people. Also, this entertainment aspect of effective motivations, enjoyment is also important. I think these 2 go well to show how important kind of the streamer persona is, because it's important, you know, not just what you're watching, but kind of how the person is presenting it. So being an entertaining streamer is clearly important for the viewers. Then something that was interesting for us, as we've talked with a lot of people who watch streams themselves and so on, is kind of learning, which people often talk about how learning is important because people watch streams to get better. They look at how to play, or they watch their favorite CSGO player and they see kind of which tactics they're using. But actually, even though it was positive correlation, it wasn't all that important, not as important as escape. So that's kind of interesting to show the relation between this entertainment and learning. Then subscription was kind of hard to narrow down and see exactly why people subscribe. So the main reason we found was the social aspect. So for those who don't know, subscription is a feature where you can pay $5 a month to support the streamer. Part of it goes to them and part goes to Twitch. And then you get these nice emoticons you can use and get to show you're a cool kid for subscribing to this streamer. But so social aspects were really important there. Something maybe good to keep in mind if you're thinking about these topics. And finally, unfortunately, there's no recognition to be had. So there's a lot of chatting going on in Twitch, and we looked at this kind of people who use media to build kind of self-worth and recognition, and they actually spent less time watching Twitch than other people. And while these are the kind of general trends, I know there's a lot of people here who really care about mobile. So I took some time to look at the difference between mobile and desktop in our data set. So let's look a bit about that. So a few things we learned. First off, these results are not, there's not a really, really huge difference between, let's say, mobile and desktop, but there's some. So first, entertainment and tension release were both important for mobile, and that makes kind of sense if you think about it, because you can watch streams on your mobile phone easily on the bus on your way to work or during your lunch break or something. It's kind of easy to pick these small chunks of entertainment and put them into your everyday life. Whereas perhaps desktop experience is something you spend more time on, which then kind of shows here because people who watch on their desktop watch for more hours. People are also more likely to subscribe, which might be a usability thing because putting in your payment info is something you might rather do on your desktop than on some open Wi-Fi connection on your mobile. And finally, this cognitive or learning motivations were really more important on desktop, perhaps because it's then more easy for you to kind of implement those things you learned if you can actually jump into a CSGO game and throw that smoke grenade exactly like the pros did and then still die terribly, but you're not really minding. So finally, I want to talk about esports a bit, and I warn you that the next slide is going to be very heavy on information, so please don't run away. So let's talk about esports. We chose this this same kind of structure as you would study other sports, football, baseball, has these 10 aspects of different motivations. So here we can see kind of on 1, this is like not important at all, to 7, very important, how people on average respond to these kind of means here. So physical attractiveness, not important at all, which is not surprising as the esports athletes are not shown very much on camera, whereas then skills of the players, drama, and acquisition of knowledge was very important. The graphics are kind of with warp, but the 4 point is the average, so you can see which are kind of more important than average and which less important. And what we also did, not just looking at the kind of means, we tried to look at how these different motivators predict how much people will watch, so how often they watch esports. That's kind of what the pluses and minuses there show. So for example, while enjoyment of aggression ranked fairly low on average, it's still kind of positive correlation. So what that means is a person who really enjoys the kind of aggression they get kind of when they watch sports, they're more likely to watch esports. Same true for escape, novelty, and acquisition of knowledge. And interestingly, this aesthetics aspect, so kind of how beautiful the game is in itself, which is kind of important for something like, let's say, figure skating has been shown to be important for the people who watch figure skating. It's actually not important here, and actually lessens how much you watch esports. So that's quite interesting. So even though there's a lot of kind of high-fidelity graphics and all sorts of fireballs flying around in League of Legends, still apparently not very important and actually kind of detrimental. So people who appreciate kind of beauty don't really watch esports that much. I think this is it's interesting, this whole esports phenomena, and unfortunately, I don't have too much time to talk about it right now. But luckily for you, if you're really interested, we're organizing this seminar next week here in Helsinki. It's a free seminar, lasts about 1 afternoon. We still have some slots left. They went like hotcakes when we put up the event. And there's a lot of games, media, and investment people coming. If you're interested, please come and find me afterwards, or then you can email me, and we can try to fit you in. There's going to be talks like this, panel discussions, and perhaps most important of all, a workshop where you can impact what you would like us to research. So if you're working on, I don't know, let's say social games, you want to see how that kind of works in the context of streaming or something, perhaps you have some really good idea for us as to what we should be researching. Thank you so much for taking the time listening to me. It's nice to see so many of you here. And please don't hesitate to come and talk with me afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much.